Welcome to Help Desk with Joe. This is show 94. We're here at the Patch Turned Up Studios in Spencer, West Virginia, and excited to have another show. I mean, we're here in early March, and the weather outside is dreary and rainy, and we're going to have another week of winter, I think.
Looks like it.
You know why we're going to have another week of winter?
Because it's March.
The groundhog?
No. No, because Justin scheduled one of our Race Your Way to a 5Ks.
Yes.
He scheduled it on Saturday, so of course it's going to snow 5 inches.
Well, that makes sense. I was going to say, that sounds about right. I think Justin could plan a race in the middle of July and there would be some freak snowstorm that would come through.
Yeah, that's it. Or thunderstorm, flooding, hurricane, you name it. If Justin schedules a race, watch out for the weather.
Okay, let's do this to our advantage.
Yeah.
This summer when it starts, if we hit a drought, schedule a race that Saturday and we'll get plenty of rain.
There you go. This is very true. So
There
Justin,
you go.
keep your eye on the forecast, and as soon as that drought starts to kick in August, we're having a race.
Yeah. Just watch the weather.
Farmers out there, if you need some water, just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always good times. And you know what I like? My favorite part of this show is as a regular now. We get to make fun of Justin because the first topic is Apple.
Yeah.
And Justin.
I'm the whipping boy for all things Apple.
You're the only Apple user we have, so.
Yep.
So you know.
Yeah, so Justin gets thrown under the bus right off.
Yeah, nothing but good times there. All right. Well, what are we looking at with Apple, Joe? We got interesting show today. We got Apple, Disney, and Android. Ooh, so both on the block today.
Yeah.
And then, of course, tip of the week, which I'm always excited about. I like the tips of the week.
Yeah, this week's tip of the week is going to be rather interesting.
Yeah. All of them are interesting in one way or another. That's what I like about you, Joe. You make them interesting regardless. And, of course, for anybody that's new to the show or just has forgotten, this show's about Joe bringing help to the community for average people, businesses, small and large, and throughout the state, region, and hopefully on the national level someday of getting a lot of people listening in, tuned into the show, but helping out the average consumer. So, yeah.
Trying to fight the battle of technology.
Yeah, and mostly, I mean, Apple's been on the storyboard here for the last 8 weeks, so trying to help Justin out as our lone Apple user in the booth here, so...
Yeah, so this may be some good news for Justin. May not be good for his wallet, but...
You're welcome, Justin.
Oh, wow.
All right. So start us off, Joe. What do you got for Apple?
Okay, so yesterday Apple held its twice-a-year keynote event, and they announced a new iPhone, a new iPad Air, and a new Mac product as well. So we'll go ahead and dive in here.
Okay.
So they announced the new iPhone SE will now support the new 5G band, and it's going to start at $429 and is available for pre-order this Friday. And then it'll actually be available in stores on March 18th.
Nice.
Is that a budget phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the cheapest model of new iPhone that you can get, because if you go up to like the 13 or whatever the current model is, you're looking at least $800-900 or $1,000 starting at.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's this one price at?
$429.
Yeah. So that's got to make the older Apple users mad, because the whole point of Apple is they're expensive, they were exclusive, and they had that little logo. And now if anybody can buy them at $429, Apple, what are you doing?
We'll probably still be able to spot it, like, oh, that guy, he just has an SE.
Yeah, because it doesn't have as many fancy cameras and bells and whistles as...
Look down at the SE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we're slumming it with the SE users.
Yeah. I don't think Apple's really complaining too awful much, considering this is their third generation of the SE model.
Yeah.
So, I think they're just they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and I got to think that, parents with kids, they're like, my kid doesn't care, but at least we'll have Apple. Because I know one of the big points that I see, which I don't understand because you can do it with Androids, but is the FaceTime.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I can FaceTime my kid. We can all FaceTime. I'm like, you can do the same thing with Android.
Yeah.
Just not called FaceTime.
Right. Well,
But
actually,
you
you
can
can't
video
FaceTime. All you have to do is copy the link from the FaceTime video and send it to them in a text, and they can open it up and work just fine.
Really?
Yep. Found that out the other night.
Okay. Yeah, I just know that, like, on my Android, it's had the little video chat forever.
Right.
So I could always video chat with whoever.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not FaceTime, though.
Yeah, it's not FaceTime. It's got to be FaceTime, Joe.
Oh,
or
I
it doesn't
know.
count. No, I'm joking. So that's a. I had a couple friends, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why you're paying extra for Apple, man. And they're like, oh, we can FaceTime. I'm like, great, I can video call. Watch. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I've been able to do that forever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still get a kick out of the whole I can do this and you can't deal.
Oh, just wait, that's coming. In this
yeah,
story
yeah.
alone.
A little foreshadowing there. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What else we got with Apple? So they're dropping out some new products. Is there anything that caught your eye, Joe, when you saw this and watched it? Were you like,
the third product we're going to talk about, that caught me. That caught a lot of people, so it's going to be interesting.
Okay, all right. Continue on, good sir.
Okay, so they're also introducing a new iPad Air version, and it's going to start at $599, and it's going to be available in multiple colors, including space gray, starlight, and blue, and the new iPad's going to launch March 18th. And it'll feature an ultra-wide camera and support for center stage, a feature allowing the camera to automatically recenter itself on its subjects. It will also support 5G. Now here, Dave, is the... Wait, that's new. No, I thought I'd seen it before. It will also include a USB-C port for transferring data.
Wow.
See, they're finally getting caught up with times. You know how frustrating it is for someone to be like, hey, can I charge my phone? And they're like, no, I got the Apple.
Yeah.
And, you know, or just that whole deal.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, as soon as I read it, first thing I thought was immediately Marty McFly. Hey, I've seen that before. How could you see it before? It's brand new.
Yeah.
Isn't USB-C kind of the gold standard now?
Yes. Yeah, that's the new USB
really fast,
standard.
Data transfer and all that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, data transfer, charging capability. It's nice.
Yeah, it lets everything happen. That's what I mean. Apple's finally getting caught up. How long has Android had the C adapter? Like 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, for a while, because I had the original Pixel had the C connector. And what's nice is now that my laptop has a C connector as well, I can use my charger for both my phone and my laptop. So I'm loving that.
Nice.
So another new device was announced, the new Mac Studio. It's a new Mac computer powered by Apple's M1 Ultra chip. Apple said the computer is targeted toward power users who want optimal performance. The computer itself is small at 3.7 inches tall and 7.7 inches wide. It features, and it'll start at $1,999, and you can also buy the Studio display to go with it, and it's $1,599. And it features 4 Thunderbolt ports, an HDMI port, a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, a Pro audio jack, and USB ports. On the front of the computer is 2 USB-C ports, that double as Thunderbolt ports, and an SD card slot.
What's a Thunderbolt port?
Apple's version of USB.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah.
Is this a desktop style computer? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get for $2,000.
So what caught your eye about it?
What caught my eye was a lot of people are thinking that Apple's moving away from the whole computer thing, and they're going more iPhones, iPads, down that avenue.
Right.
And then boom, out of nowhere, here's this high-end
Desktop
and a high-end monitor to go with it.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't pay much attention to that, and I know that's your world, so that does seem credible because everything's iPad.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, well, especially when they tout that you can do everything with iPad. You can edit photos, you can shoot video, you can do X, Y, and Z with iPad, and then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, check out this new computer we have. I was just kind of surprised by that one.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Do you know much else about like that feature you were talking about with the iPad, like centering the subject or whatever?
Yeah.
How does that work?
It has AI built in that basically it picks up your face, and then if you're moving around the room, it just basically follows you, as long as you stay within shot.
Like the lens just shifts
it auto focuses and makes sure your face stays in focus the whole time.
Oh, just a focus thing, not a painting thing or anything.
Not really.
Okay, got it.
It just focuses, and in the software it will make sure that your face stays centered the whole time.
So the new desktop computer, pretty good specs. Have you looked at the specs on it? Pretty fast computer.
For $2,000, I hope it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see this stacking up? Do you think this will draw people back to Mac computers?
I don't know.
I mean, there seems to be such a trend in just using laptops.
Right.
I mean, like even Justin, you use a laptop 99% of the time probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, the jury's still out on it. I'll be surprised if it, goes off like gangbusters, especially for the price point.
Yeah.
Now, will they sell a bunch? Absolutely, but I don't see it making headline news. The new Apple Mac Studio sets new sales records or whatever. They'll make money off of it, but I don't see it making a big splash and breaking records.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've been mistaken before.
What
Well,
was the
I mean-
little add-on that you mentioned? Is that Mac Studio? Something for like $500 extra?
Or $1,599 extra, you can get the Mac Studio display. So it's basically a high res monitor to go with it.
For an extra $1,500.
And $99. Yep.
Crazy.
Wow.
So,
I mean, I wish people could see my face right now because that is just amazing.
yeah. So for the low price of $3,600, you can get a new computer with a new monitor.
How is that even bloody brilliant?
Exactly.
Somebody in the meeting said, what we need to add to this? A $1,600 monitor.
Yeah.
That will sell some computers.
I'd like to see that picture.
I thought for $2,000 it came with a monitor.
No.
How crazy is that?
It's just like the printers. You buy a printer and then, by the way, you got to pay $10 extra for that cord.
Yeah. Man, that's only $10 though. $1,600 extra?
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant. Somebody needs to go to these meetings and just slap people that jump up and give those kind of ideas. I mean, hey, it's Apple and it doesn't surprise me.
Right.
But I just can't believe in that meeting somebody bought into that and said, yeah, that's somebody's going to shell out $3,600 for a computer and a monitor.
Right.
What could you possibly get? Okay, so give us a comparison, Joe,
Okay.
of a PC desktop and monitor versus Apple's $3,600 desktop and monitor.
So for a high-end desktop and monitor, with a PC, it's kind of hard to gauge because you could
Just roughly though.
for, let's say, an i9 processor and a really nice screen, you're probably looking, without going crazy for gaming stuff, add-ons like video cards and all that, you could probably get away with about $1,800.
Okay, so even if you went a little crazy, you'd still be well under the $3,600.
Oh yeah.
Plus, you could afford Adobe Photoshop and Premiere and
licensing,
everything
yeah.
that goes with it,
Right.
and every other program you'd ever want,
Right.
and still be under $3,600.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Apple doesn't have like built-in its own version of Photoshop. You'd still have to buy Photoshop pretty much on top of that.
Oh yeah.
That's the industry standard if
Right.
you're doing that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I would have a hard time keeping my mouth closed in that meeting.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying any company out there that would love to hire the three of us, we come as a package.
Oh no! You go unload all three of us on somebody.
Hey, that'll
It'll be like timeout. I just want one.
No, we come as a package deal because,
Yeah.
trust me, here's the thought. You hire the three of us, and we all sit in the corner of these meetings with the real flimsy part of a fishing rod.
Yeah. Just start.
And
whopping
anytime
people.
somebody goes bloody brilliant, we just whack them in the back of the neck. So when they walk out of that meeting, they'll see the mark on the back of their neck and go, yeah, you come up with a dumb idea, didn't you?
Yeah. You try to convince everybody this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
But
Not
see,
happening.
That's why I want the three of us
Nah.
to do it, because we come as a package deal, because then we could just take
Cover
turns
more
whacking
ground.
people with the
Well,
fishing
you're
rod.
right. We could cover a meeting pretty well in
Yeah.
a triangle.
Yeah.
Just wear people out. I have a feeling there'd be a lot of people that have red marks.
Yeah. And at some point, probably 6 months in, a year in, it'd go, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah. I got to stop throwing out these crazy, dumb ideas.
No, I'm talking about the three of us get whacking people on the back of the neck.
I don't know, though.
That's
that-
what I'm saying.
that might be
6 months,
fun.
maybe a year.
Yeah. It's kind of, I can't comprehend how this comes up almost every week. I mean, every week we're literally talking about who said in this meeting and said, this is a great idea. And someone else said, bloody brilliant. And they roll it out.
They're touching each other's phones together during COVID.
Yeah. I mean,
that was
come on.
Okay, well,
That
if you
was a low mark for Apple, I think.
so if you guys like that,
Contactless.
you're gonna love this.
All right.
So again, late to the party. They also announced the new version of iOS, iOS 15.4, will arrive next week. And one of its big features, it's now going to allow Face ID with a mask.
Wow.
So here we are 2 years into this, basically. Yeah, 2 years into this.
Yeah.
There are serious discussions about getting rid of masks,
Yeah.
and Apple's going, hey, look, we got a problem fixed.
Yeah. Oh my! And Android's had that for a while,
Yeah.
right? I'm pretty sure mine will do it with a mask.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
I don't
into
use it, but I thought that was one of the features.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right.
But it's like
they're late to the party because masks now are almost gone.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so does it really work, or is it at this point, masks are going away, so it makes yourself look good? Hey, we fixed a problem.
Yeah.
Do you use the face unlock on yours?
No, mine.
I might be old school. I just don't mind typing in the code.
Yeah, mine doesn't support facial ID.
Yeah.
And even if it did, I don't think I would use it.
I don't want that really. Doesn't seem all that convenient.
Well, that's just.
I don't know. My one buddy uses it on his all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I have paranoia and conspiracies. Do you really want to go down that road on face ID?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm curious now because I see him. He's all the time. Like I pull my phone up and I got to use two hands to do the code.
Yeah.
And he'll be doing something, like writing or whatever, and he'll just pick his phone up, look at it, and then go. And his phone's open.
Right.
He just looks at it real quick and then keeps doing whatever he's doing.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, that would be convenient. You don't need two hands.
Right.
But I haven't set it up because I don't care that much.
Well, I read an article somewhere on a conspiracy on it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So let's say.
I am going to say this. I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
Okay.
He loves when you give tips out like this.
Yeah.
And then I go to him and say, listen, that one of them was the whole the Peanuts show. Or no, what was the Thanksgiving Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
He thought his conspiracy theory was what was it? Somebody was blocking it because of whatever
cancel culture
justice.
or whatever.
Yeah. And I was like, no, actually, I just sat in the show today, and it's because Amazon bought it and they weren't giving it away anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's social justice things. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure Joe doesn't lie about this stuff. I mean, we literally put it out there in public.
Yeah.
And it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
And, so anyway, he loves it when I get feed me, Seymour, feed me.
Okay. So let's say you get arrested for whatever.
Okay.
And there's some potential incriminating evidence on your phone for whatever the case is. I'm not going to.
They can force you to open it.
Okay, so by law, you have the right to not self-incriminate.
Yeah.
Okay, your phone's locked, and they say unlock your phone. No, you have Face ID. They just point at your face. Thank you.
Huh. I don't know that that'll be the issue for Justin's a little sketchy, but for you and I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the issue.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm looking at Justin kind of sideways when I say this because he could be arrested.
But just think about it.
I'm joking.
I mean, even if you're wrongfully accused, but
yeah. I mean, we're in Roane County though.
Well, I'm not saying locally. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, in general, I got what you're saying.
Hypothetically,
So,
in a situation.
if you're one of those sketchy Dodgers, you may not want to use Face ID.
Okay, let's take it internationally. Let's say you go on vacation overseas somewhere and run into a situation like that, and they say unlock your phone.
Yeah.
No. Boop.
Yeah, I got you. Interesting. What if you close your eyes?
I don't think that matters.
Does it not?
No.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I mean, you could physically force someone to do that, but you couldn't physically force them to give
Do
the
the
password
code or
without
whatever.
one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, for all you criminals out there, don't use Face ID.
Same
that's
thing with the-
that's tip from
or
Joe.
conspiracy
The
theorists.
thumbprint too. You could just force somebody to hold their thumb on the.
I do use the thumbprint one.
Mm-hmm.
It protects my bank app and my
Yeah.
credit card app.
Right.
Those are thumbprints.
Yeah, I use the thumbprint reader on mine. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's great security.
Yeah.
But just the whole face thing kind of.
Two-step authentication, Joe.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Interesting stuff. Okay. What else you got on Apple?
The last thing is one of the new features is including an anti-stalking warning for their AirTags that we talked about last week or week before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. These people. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So what are they doing?
they're including an anti-stalking warning. So I guess it's a little pop-up saying, "Don't be stalking anybody with this." So when they get sued, they go, "Hey, we told them not to do."
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's a warning. You saw the warning and you ignored it and stalked that person anyway. Wow. Okay. Kudos to Apple. Justin,
Yeah.
what do you have to say for yourself?
I mean, that wasn't the worst day of news compared to some of the ones we've had in the past. This one, I was a little nervous, but
I'm gonna say, Dave, you're sitting there, making that comment sound like Justin's the one sitting in the news media going, "Bloody brilliant!"
Well, he's supporting the cause. So anyway, all right. So on to Disney. You got some Disney news for us.
Yes.
I know Disney's popular,
Yes.
so this must be a good one.
So Disney is going to start rolling out a cheaper ad-supported Disney Plus subscription later this year.
Huh. Okay.
So in a statement made last Friday, Disney says it will roll out an ad-supported version of its Disney Plus subscription service. They say will launch at a lower price than the current ad-free plan available, which is currently available at $7.99 a month or $79.99 annually.
Okay.
Disney did not say how much the new subscription option will cost or whether it will raise the prices of its current Disney Plus plans. And they said in a statement, expanding access to Disney Plus to a broader audience at a lower price point is a win for everyone, consumers, advertisers, and storytellers, said Kareem Daniel, chairman of Disney Media and Entertainment. And Disney said the version of its streaming service with ads will launch in the U.S. later this year and internationally next year.
So this is, I always find this interesting. This is interesting to me. I like the marketing aspect, and I like trying to figure out the marketing aspect. So with COVID kind of coming out and finishing
Right.
our heavy stay-home protocols, do you think they're making these adjustments because more people are no longer staying, or less people are staying home, and they have to lower it down to make it more appealing, or is this just the natural evolution of how things happen? You release the big Disney Plus, and it's a high price, and then, okay, once that wave kind of goes by, then you do something else to get another small wave, or what do you think's happening here?
I think it's a twofold deal. I think it's one that life is starting to get back to normal,
Yeah,
like you said, and then two, Disney a while back raised their rates,
right.
and apparently they lost some money off of that deal.
Lost some subscribers.
Who would have thought we raise our prices, we lose customers?
Yeah. If only that would happen with gas prices.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah, I've seen. So just for everybody out there, if this show's dated, gas prices are high. They're like $4 a gallon. Everybody's like, let's not drive for 2 weeks. I'm like, what are you talking about? I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Who in the world can just stop driving for 2 weeks?
Well, I thought of this morning. Now would be a good time. All these companies already had all these plans in place during COVID. Why not start allowing these employees to work remotely? The companies that can allow their...
I was gonna say that works great unless you're like in the daycare business.
Well, right. Situations like that, you can't.
Yeah, my people have to drive and get to work,
Right.
man.
But these companies that have
That
the ability
don't,
to
yeah.
allow their employees to work, give them that option. Help them out.
And on a personal note, soccer games don't stop. Track meets don't stop.
Right.
We're still going.
Right.
It makes sense. Like the schools, they buy their gas a year and a half ahead of time, roughly. They lock in a price. Sometimes I've heard people grumble, well, that's a little high. I'm like, yeah, but what can happen in a year and a half? Now the schools are happy as can be that they get locked in their gas prices a year ago.
Yeah.
So all their school buses, they're on a set price all year?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
They buy in bulk.
Yeah.
So sometimes it might be a little high, sometimes it might be a little low, but like right now it's really low because they probably bought it back at like $2 a gallon.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the long run, it kind of balances itself out.
Yeah.
But
So
for the short term, yeah.
it'll be interesting negotiating next year's.
Oh, yeah.
Which
yeah.
they'll do here soon. I'm assuming, sometime in the next couple, 3 or 4 months. But
Right.
Does Hulu do the same thing where they have a cheaper version and
Yes.
with ads?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they're just kind of
there's always
copying Hulu a little bit,
with ads.
taking their idea.
Yeah, Hulu, Peacock, there's several of them that
Yeah.
offer ad and then ad free.
Would you ever consider going this route, Joe?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it's true. You have a little one, so you have Disney.
Oh, yeah, we have Disney.
Okay.
But I've installed a program on my network a few weeks ago called Pi-hole. And it's a network-based ad blocker. And man, oh man, a lot of these streaming services, I don't have these problems anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
How does it block them?
It
Hold on, let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Does it just remove the ad so that you
Uh-huh.
don't have any delay in stream?
uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah. Now it doesn't work for everything. Like Hulu and YouTube, I can't find a way around them.
Right.
But like Peacock,
Yeah.
Cena was trying to watch the Olympics the other night,
Right.
and literally after each team would do their event, it would be 2 minutes worth of ads.
Yeah.
I loaded Pi-hole in there, and the first thing I went to was the Olympics. Boom. All 3.5 hours, not a single ad.
Wow.
Huh. Is Pi-hole free?
Yes.
Even if you're on Apple?
Yeah, it's a network-based program, so you load it
Wow,
on.
that was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, Apple come out their version in about 5 years.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Okay. Interesting how. See, now, why is Pi-hole free?
Because it's open source.
But I mean, that's kind of crazy. See, that blows my mind that people are just like, well, I'm just gonna spend this time and effort
Yeah.
and write this code and develop this app, and then it's just free.
Yeah.
People are awesome.
For the
Yes.
love of humanity. Yep.
Yes.
People are awesome.
So,
Okay.
if you did switch over to ads, do you think your kid would mind or be upset if Disney suddenly started having ads?
No, but if the Pi-hole would block the ads, it's just a win-win.
Yeah.
Her service
So,
doesn't change,
I
and
guess-
but I got an extra couple dollars in my pocket.
Is your question, is it worth the money to you, Joe?
It all depends on the price point. If it's like $1 cheaper,
Yeah.
I've spent $1 on dumber things guaranteed
Mhm.
within the
Oh,
last
yeah.
6 weeks at least.
But
But I mean, if it-
yesterday probably.
yeah,
If you asked Cena anyway.
yeah. If it's a substantial cost savings, I would consider it.
Yeah.
But I just have to see the numbers and see where they're going with this.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not a big deal to have a 2-minute break here or there.
Right. And although
To
it,
me.
it would probably have to be this time next year before I would actually be able to reap the savings because we already locked in for another year.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
So I'm anxious. As soon as they announce the price and launch this, I will report back.
Nice. Okay. What else you got?
That's it for Disney Plus.
Price tag. Okay. So does that make Disney pretty comparable to the other streaming places, or does it matter because they're kind of Disney and their own deal?
No, their current price point's right in there with everybody else. But
Okay.
everybody else everybody, including Disney, just raised their rates on everything. And I just got the heartbreaking news on Netflix last night. I went to launch it, and it said, "Oh, by the way, starting the 29th, your rates are going to go up again." I'm like, well, that's just.
Where are they going up to?
I think mine's going to be like 12 or 13.99.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because we've got two devices.
Nickel and diming you, Joe.
Oh, I know.
Nickel and diming you.
Yep.
Me
to
too.
that.
I have Netflix, so I'm sure I'm gonna get it next. I haven't opened it for a while.
Well, get ready.
I'm just not gonna open it. Can they charge me more if I don't open it yet?
Well, what's the point if you're not going to use it? Then why are you paying for it?
Joe, why you gotta do that to me, man?
Well,
Now I'm gonna be
so-
like, hey, I'm paying for Netflix. I gotta at least turn it on, let it run in the background. I'm not getting my money's worth. I ain't using it.
It's like, why are you bringing logic into this?
I know. Netflix, I'm gonna stream you while I'm at work.
Yeah, and not even watch it just because
yeah,
it costs them
I'm
money.
just gonna let stream it. Does it cost them money?
Oh yeah, because they have to pay.
Royalties?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Oh yeah.
didn't think
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
So that's why they had that little built-in trigger. Like after 4 episodes of a show, it'll pop up and say, "Are you still watching this?"
Really?
Yeah.
Did not realize that. I thought they were just being nice.
No, that's because they don't want to pay royalties because you're just
If
sitting
you're
there.
just not watching?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, interesting. All right, learn something every day. Joe, that's why I like you. Heck yeah. All right, so if you want to gouge Netflix back, just let it run in the background.
And make sure you, and remember after 4 episodes it will pop up, and then they added a new line now that says "Don't remind me again," and just click that, and
Click
it'll at
it.
least run for that session and just let it roll.
I bet there are people out there saying, wait a minute, why are we gouging Netflix? I don't understand.
Because we can.
Because they keep raising the prices.
Yeah. I
We
want
ain't-
my
we ain't
money's
putting
worth.
up with it.
They have a 20-year plan, and they're like, okay, on this date we're gonna raise it this much, and this. I wonder how planned out all this is, or if it's just.
It's got to be more.
On a
I
long-
agree with you. There's probably
like a
like, but
long-term
I'm
plan.
thinking it's like got to be like 1 or 2 years. Because I mean, who would have ever predicted the pandemic, and how would you know when we come out of it?
Right.
So you'd have to re-steer the ship
Mhm.
with those social changes.
Right.
Because now everybody's got to be scrambling, saying, "Okay, we're getting back to normal. So how do we still keep people watching TV?"
Yeah, yeah. And because the cash flows, the water's starting to dry up. We need to figure out a way to bring more water in.
Yeah. Well, although with less people watching, they'd have to pay less royalty, so their cash margin would stay roughly the same. Maybe I don't know. No, that works. Unless we really go on strike on them and everybody streams it and doesn't watch it.
I mean, in theory, they take the extra money they're making and like reinvest it into more programming, more original content.
Oh,
more,
you mean buying their own stock back?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Or
doing more like big movies that cost a lot of money.
or another season of Tiger King.
Yeah,
Gosh.
which probably didn't cost too much. He's doing all the work for him, just being on camera.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah, all they have to do is just show up and just press record and just let it roll.
Craziness. I'm proud to say I have not watched one of those.
There's
Dave,
like
you
a
are
little side,
missing.
there's like a side character story. He's got the Doc Antel.
Yeah, I haven't watched that
thing
one.
in it.
The what?
Like one of the, not the Tiger King, but one of the other characters in the documentary. He's got
Isn't
his
he in jail?
own
Yes.
original thing. Oh yeah, he'll be in jail for a while. I think.
He's videoing from jail?
Yeah, they do a video call.
What did he go to jail for?
Conspiracy to kill Carol Baskin,
Setting up a hit on a rival.
Tiger.
Now, and she has a conspiracy that she killed her husband, right?
Yeah,
Fed him to tigers.
yeah, but like there's like almost as much, if not more, evidence than the OJ trial, but yet it's a lot of hush hush. It's one of those. It's an interesting.
So she most likely killed her husband and fed him to tigers, and she's out walking around.
Uh-huh.
He tried but failed, and he's in jail for
Well,
life.
no, well. When you start see, Dave, you're going to have to watch
I'm
both
not watching.
seasons.
Never mind. I don't even want to know.
Because once
I
you
don't
start
wanna
digging
know.
deeper, you find out that he was actually set up, that he actually may have not had actually hand in on any of that.
I don't even want to know. This is like the what's the Kardashians?
Kardashians? Oh, I don't watch that. That's
I don't
just a
either.
waste
That's
of
like the
time.
show that you just watch people in their daily lives where they do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. Nope. No
Yes,
thanks.
but Tiger King, it's an interesting watch, is it not, Justin?
Yeah.
Justin's a fan. He dressed up as the Tiger King
Oh,
for
I know.
Halloween. So you know.
I thought that was, when I seen that, I was like, bloody brilliant!
Bloody brilliant. I looked at him and was like, man, that looks familiar. He's like, Tiger King. I was like, ah. And he showed me a picture of him. I was like, you nailed it. Man, just
Who
nailed
knew?
it. We
Yeah.
need to get a picture of that for the show next week.
Well, I've got it because Justin sent me the picture.
All right.
I was like, oh, that's
I was
awesome.
pretty proud of that. Send it to a lot of
Pull it
people.
up and I'll show it on the camera here. Yeah, that's funny. And then, okay, so Disney's coming out with a lower cost version with ads. And then, of course, Apple doing everybody right. You can go run right out and purchase that $3,600 computer monitor.
Yep.
Because that's just awesome.
But you'll save money on the iPhone if you get the SE, so it balances
There
out.
you go. Save a couple hundred by going with the low model.
So you can spend a
iPhone.
couple of $1,000 on a computer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's going to lead us into Android. So it's interesting. You're
Yeah.
throwing around both the big boys here. And
Yeah.
Nope, hold on. We need a picture
Fair
of
and
Tiger
balanced.
King
He's
guy
doing
here.
Apple and Android.
Yeah,
At once.
all in one episode.
Yeah. All right. We'll give you a second, Joe. Justin and
Okay.
I will talk here.
Well, no, we can keep talking. I can multitask.
Oh. All right. Well, you're up because you have to talk about Android.
Okay, so Android will soon let you archive apps to save space.
Okay.
So Google announced yesterday that it's working on a new feature that estimates it will reduce the space of some apps up by approximately 60%. Best of all, your personal data won't be affected. This feature is called App Archiving, and it will arrive later this year. Rather uninstalling an app completely, it instead temporarily removes some of the parts of the app itself, app files, and generates a new type of Android package known as Archived APK. That package preserves your data until the moment you restore the app to its former form. So it's one of those.
Has it already taken place? Well, the reason I ask is because my phone does a deep sleep for apps that haven't been used for X amount of time.
Yeah.
Like if I go a month or 6 weeks or something without using an app, it gives me a little notification that says these apps have been put into deep sleep.
Yeah.
Because of lack of usage.
Right.
And it shows me the amount of time, and then I just hit OK, and it deep sleeps them. So I don't know what that means, but
I think it's something
Sounds
similar to
good.
that. I think like Google's making this kind of an across the board kind of deal.
gotcha. Okay.
Where it's not
I mean, I
just-
like that because I have apps that I'm like, yeah, one day I might come back to that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I keep it, but it makes it sound good that it's helping me by putting it in deep sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Saving your storage space.
Then, have you gotten some of them out of deep sleep?
Yeah, have you went
All
back
right,
to
listen,
You
you're not
gotta-
allowed to ask trick questions.
So the app that it said it put into deep sleep, have you ever gone back after?
I don't even know. I didn't even pay attention to what apps it said was going into deep sleep. Because the way I see it is, if I haven't used it for 6 or 8 weeks, I didn't need it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
And I delete apps that, like, if I delete it or download something, I don't know, what a guitar tuner app or something I downloaded.
Yeah.
I just delete it. I don't mess with trying to,
Mhm.
because you can download it in 2 minutes anyway.
Right.
So if I ever need it again, I don't know. It's weird. I like going through and cleaning my phone up every once in a while.
I do too. I don't do it as often as I should.
So when it
but-
does it for me, I'm kind of like, all right.
Yeah. Just keep on rolling.
Yeah. One less thing I got to mess with. Now, I am guilty of not restarting my phone that often, but I need to do that occasionally.
Yeah.
You got a picture for us?
Yeah. Well, Justin, do you want this public to the internet?
Sure.
I was gonna say.
Fire me.
I was gonna say if not, I will tell Dave no, because I did find it.
All right.
So it's up to you. Do you
No,
want?
that's fine.
Dude,
Okay.
he makes a great Tiger King.
He does. He nailed the picture.
Hold on. Let me.
Okay. I was gonna say, do you want me to hand it to you?
Let's see. Go up a little bit or forward a little bit, like this way. There you go. Now turn that way. There you go. And now tilt back the other way.
The other back.
Yeah.
Keep on going. Keep on going. All right, there you go. So a blurry version of our own Tiger King. All right, thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
So yeah, but Justin, you did an awesome job dressing up for it. Was the Halloween 5K
Yeah.
out at the golf course, and man, you came in and you're like, look at this picture, and I was like, I don't even know who that is, but you look cool.
Yeah.
And then he showed me the real Tiger King, and I was like, man, spot on.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah, the sparkly shirt. That's
Yeah. That's the key. Yeah, because Justin sent me a picture. I was immediately. I was like, "That is awesome."
I thought it was the mustache. you
Oh
know,
yeah, and the mullet too. Yep.
And the mullet, the mustache and the mullet. I was like, heck yeah, rocking.
Yeah, I was actually jealous. I was like, Justin nailed that too. I mean, you could. He
so-
couldn't have got a better.
People didn't know who I was.
This-
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, I believe that. Well,
Okay,
and
well,
he's new to the show too, so.
Well, I'm saying, did they not know you, or did they claim they didn't know you because they didn't want other people to know that they
Didn't want
watched
to
Tiger
associate.
King?
That could
No, I
be
mean,
too.
I don't think they knew that it was Justin.
Oh, okay.
They recognized Tiger King, but not you as Justin, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
okay,
So, I mean,
Okay.
you got brown hair, short
Yeah.
hair, and
Okay, I thought it
clean
was
shaven, and then you're showing up as
I thought it was going the other way. It's like,
Joe
Justin,
Dirt
who
there.
are you supposed to be?
yeah. So it's so funny though with the masks. We still do masks here because we're still under the critical care license for our daycares and stuff. So in
Right.
the building we still wear masks. Well, I saw a picture of one of our high school students, and he is rolling out a stash like you wouldn't believe. I'm just like, man, that's rocking. I saw a picture of him without a mask on. Well, I haven't seen him in 8 months without a mask. So
Yeah.
I have no idea what he looks like out there.
Well, it was like I was
Secretly growing a stash.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I was like, heck yeah. Cat's rolling out a good mustache. In high school, I couldn't grow a mustache or a beard.
Well, it was like I was at Walmart the other day, and all of a sudden, this lady just comes running towards me, like she knew me, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And it was a lady I'd known for years, and she had a mask on.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I had that happen.
yeah, and I was like, and so I just started talking to her like I knew her, and then all of a sudden, it finally hit me who it was. Like, oh, okay.
You know-
I know who this is now. And,
This is an embarrassing moment for me, but I'm going to share it with everybody anyway.
okay.
So the superintendent of schools in Mason County, whom I'd met with the week prior to this incident, came to the state finals to watch the Point Pleasant boys soccer team play, which my son plays on.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up beside me afterwards. They lost in overtime to Charleston Catholic, and we all met over on the side of the field with the trophies and all that jazz. And he saddles up beside me. He's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I turn around, and he had on a baseball cap, and a sweatshirt, and no mask. And I was just like, "Okay, yeah, I'm doing good." And I looked again. I was like, I don't recognize you. Which kid is yours?" He's like, "I'm the superintendent of schools. You met last week." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. You don't have a mask on. You're wearing a ball cap. You look amazingly. Last time I saw you, you're a suit and tie and a mask."
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I was like, "Sorry about that," but he just kind of looked at me like, "Man." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But anyway,
See, now, I'm blessed with, seeing this as I'm blessed with the ability of talking to someone and have absolutely no idea who they are, and they're none the wiser. Because, like, we'll go somewhere and somebody will come up and talk to me, and They'll leave and she'll go, "Who was that?" And I said, "I have
that's-
no earthly idea who that was."
Afterwards, I was kicking myself, and I was like, why in the world did I have to ask which kid is his? I've been there, for 2 seasons now,
Yeah.
and I know most of the parents,
Yeah.
or at least what they look like. So obviously he didn't have a kid there because I'd never seen him before. But then
Yeah.
again, you have these families that, are split
Right,
up, divorced, where
right,
he could have
right.
been, who knows.
Right.
But I felt so bad. I was like, why did you you should just not said anything and just said, oh, yeah, it's a nice
Great
day.
to see
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We came up just a bit short, but, all's good.
I'll teach you, Dave. We just need to go out in public and then watch me talk to people because
Yeah.
now apparently there's some kind of minor nuances that Cena has picked up over the years
Yeah.
because it's now gotten to the point that people will leave and she'll go, "You had no idea who those people were, do you?" I said, "How'd you know?" She said, "They won't figure it out." She said, "But trust me, I know."
I did, yeah. She's been around you enough to know these things.
Yeah.
Oh, my. All right, what were we talking
Yeah, I
about?
forget.
Justin, come on, man.
What was the Android story again?
Yeah,
The archive where they're going
archive apps.
yeah, they're
Okay.
going to start gaining more storage back.
Cool.
That's smart, I guess.
Apple will have that. Don't worry, Apple users. Wait 2
Coming
years
soon.
and you'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin, there's hope for you yet. Anyway, man.
You gonna make use of this new feature, Joe?
I might. There's a couple. Well, I've been getting. Was it for that?
I don't know how.
I might because there's some apps that I don't use very often. Oh, I know what it is. I've been getting notifications for a while that some apps that I haven't used for quite a while, like it would kind of quiet them down, it'd turn off the notifications, stuff like that. So if it's going to save me some storage space, by all means.
Yeah, it's kind of a fine line. Like if you're not using it for months and months, you kind of got to question like, do I really need this on my phone? But
Right.
it's kind of hard to picture an app that you use like twice a year that you, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe like taxes or something. I don't know.
right. Well, kind of like Waze. I don't use Waze all the time.
Mhm.
So if it wants to archive that, go ahead. But
As long as it's easy to open it back up when you
right,
need it.
yeah. But it's one of those I leave it on my phone all the time because I don't want to uninstall it and reinstall it every time I
Yeah.
need to use it.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, all I know is, Justin, sorry about your luck. Joe and I will continue on with our Androids, and we'll just be happy.
Yeah.
We will help you.
It's weird. We always have good days, Joe.
I know. We will help Justin predict the future.
We'll let you know what's coming in a year.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 years. 2 years. Don't get ahead of the horse there too much.
Yeah.
2 years.
You don't get too excited.
Yeah. You have time. You can play this out slow.
Yeah.
No worries. Funny stuff.
Yeah, next week Justin's gonna come in with the big hat that Johnny Carson used to have, and my prediction for Apple this week is.
He's gonna go back and tell all his Apple friends, "Hey, listen, guess what we're getting in 2 years."
Yeah.
I got the inside scoop. On
Yeah.
Something coming down the pike.
I have connections straight from Silicon Valley here.
All right, so Joe, you got tip of the week, and I
Yes.
love the tip of the weeks.
Yep.
One time there was a string of like 7 shows in a row where you did tips of the week. It was just awesome for parents,
Yes.
and I enjoyed it so much. So I'm hoping today is another tip of the week I can use. I feel like the last couple have been general tips of the week, not necessarily geared towards me,
Right.
but I'm anxious for when it comes back to a tip of the week just for me, Joe.
So this week's tip of the week is kind of a deep dive on something that blew up on social media over the weekend that the mainstream media kind of highlighted on.
Well, crap. I don't do a lot of social media, so all right, Dustin, this one's for you, maybe.
So, the whole Russia-Ukraine issue.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into politics on that.
This is what let me throw this out there real quick.
I knew
Okay.
this was coming up at some point.
Well, no. I just mean we talked last week, and it amazed me how much technology is
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
I mean, just you and I talked about this after the show about how these companies can come in and just like shutting you off.
Yeah.
All right, you don't want to play nice with your neighbor. We're going to just shut you off with your technology.
Exactly.
Whether it be Elon Musk rerouting internet satellites over to Ukraine, taken away from Russia, or
Mhm.
I think maybe you threw out there like Microsoft can just shut off their Microsoft stuff.
Yeah.
And Justin, you'd mentioned the Russian TV stations not able to broadcast out to the consumers because the other country just shut them off. So
Yeah.
now they can't sell ads, so therefore they don't really have.
Starve them out.
Yeah, and it's just we went back in the office and we're talking to Denise and we're like, hey, never thought about this, but just because it was an interesting conversation to think in war in a different way.
Yeah.
man, now there's a whole cyber issue to it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Shutting off banks or credit cards.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I never thought about, but so maybe you know this, Joe, or Justin, maybe one of you will know. Like, if you have a credit card,
Mm-hmm.
do other countries use credit cards like we do?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
will they have like Citibank?
Well, they probably don't have Citibank itself, but they probably have something like a Citibank.
Like,
yeah.
does Discover, which I don't even know who owns Discover. I kind of assume Discover's like American.
Yeah.
But does Discover go into Europe and have Discover?
Oh, I'm sure the companies do.
Or do they use like European banks?
It may be maybe both.
Because that's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was talking to Kale and Katie about this as well as we were driving to, soccer, and I was just like, man, can you imagine if they just shut your credit card? I wouldn't be able to buy gas
Or food.
or anything.
Yeah.
Because I do all my stuff with a credit card,
Right.
and then I just pay the bill monthly, just because that way I get 5% cash back, but also it keeps everything in one place.
Right.
But and and I saw on the news where they had lines into the bank where people were trying to get their cash out so they could live off their cash, and I was like, man, it's kind of, I won't say dirty, but it's kind of scary to have your stuff just shut off.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine shut off Facebook here in America for a week and everybody would go ballistic?
Yeah. Well, they went ballistic when it went down
Or
for a few
Snapchat.
hours.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Can you imagine if they said, all right, no more Snapchat for a week? All the parents out there be like, time out. You're killing me because my kid's killing me because there's no Snapchat. Get it back on.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, get it back on.
There would be hordes of Karens going to California demanding they speak to
And
a
they wouldn't even
manager.
be able to like do their videos about this is horrible.
Yeah. It's like, I will record this now and I will upload it later.
All right, so I hijacked your whole tip of the week, but it's just amazing, and I know you're in the field of technology, so I'm sure you know way more about it than like I ever would. But I just found it amazing after our conversation last week of how crippling that would be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, so go ahead. Tip of the week.
Okay, so I saw this over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was, when I seen it, immediately I thought, bloody brilliant.
Hold on, actually bloody brilliant?
Yes.
Bloody brilliant? Or somebody
Yes.
sitting in a meeting being sarcastic?
No,
Bloody
like, this is
bloody
ingenious.
brilliant. Okay.
The only problem of it is nobody wants to talk about the details.
Right.
Because then they're
Yeah, they don't want to let it out.
right. So, a popular thing is to help the people of Ukraine.
Yeah.
People are starting to book Airbnb stays for them to their houses or whatever in Ukraine, but not going. Case in point, like if I have a place for a space for rent in the Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
what you could do, Dave, you could go on Airbnb's website, book a stay with me for 1 night, 2 night, whatever, and then Airbnb would send me the money for the stay, but then you send me a message, hey, I'm not coming, I'm just sending you a little bit of money to help you out. So it's a way, people are using Airbnb's website as a way to get the people of Ukraine money straight to them without, in a much faster format.
Genius.
Yes.
So, all right, so here's a couple things. I just put in Airbnbs in Ukraine. Here's what come up. Scammers pretending to raise money for Ukraine.
Yeah, that's what we're...
Airbnb is waiving fees for rentals booked to support Ukraine.
Yes.
And then fake Airbnbs in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Right. Okay, I mean, I just typed in because I'm like, holy cow. You know, people are so smart. That's so ingenious.
Yeah, because that's one thing I never thought of.
Yeah, I mean, who would think it? You know, you're right, bloody brilliant. Somebody's sitting around like, hey, how could we support Ukraine? You know, if that's what you wanted to do, how could you support Ukraine? Like, well, let's just rent their house and not actually go because now they'll get rent money without the cost.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because otherwise,
bloody brilliant.
Yes.
trying to actually track down some random person in Ukraine, that'd be like, how would you even do that? So this is a way to connect to them from across the world. It's like,
Well, and make sure the money goes to them directly and it doesn't get filtered through a third party.
Yeah, some like raise money, click here to donate to Ukraine or something.
Right,
It just
and-
goes in somebody else's pocket.
Right, or they take a cut of it or whatever. Yeah, this goes straight to the
Wow.
person, and no issues.
But the good people with a good idea, then the bad people with nefarious ideas come right in behind them.
Yeah.
It's like,
So here's, I was just curious, based off of what you're talking about, Joe, I said, all right, best way to support Ukraine. And then this popped up as how Americans can help people of Ukraine. Donations, obviously. Write to your congressperson. Attend protests or volunteer. And then support local Ukrainian journalism. That one's interesting.
Yeah.
How would you support local Ukrainian journalism?
I don't. That's an interesting one.
Huh. Now, I did see where the president of Ukraine said, I don't need something, I need ammunition. And one of the actors or musicians or somebody said, all right, I'm going to send you 1 million rounds of whatever.
Wow.
Because he had something to do with an ammunition company. Like, he owns part of a company that makes ammunition.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we're firing it up now. We're sending you ammunition.
Oh, wow.
1 million rounds of whatever. I don't know the details, but
That's crazy.
yeah. And I was like, by golly. Huh. It's interesting. So, and I also heard another thing. They talked about how Ukraine is kind of featured because of where it's located.
Mm-hmm.
And just as a sidebar here, the issue was, would we care about Ukraine as much if it wasn't close to like destination places in Europe that people vacation at? Like, it's close to Portugal and Spain and Greece, and it's right kind of not in the hub of those vacation places, but close enough.
Right.
Whereas if there's war in Africa, there's war in South America, but people don't care as much because they don't vacation there.
That's a good point.
You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
There aren't too many people that vacation in the Middle East necessarily,
Right.
but a ton of people go to Europe.
Right.
And so therefore it's kind of closer to their interests, because that made some sense. I mean, Ukraine's kind of at the forefront, but I didn't really know why.
Right.
I mean, I know it's a big deal just because of the ramifications globally,
Right.
but it's not like somebody trying to take over Saudi Arabia and we lose our oil.
Right.
So interesting. Okay, all right, sorry, Joe, go ahead. Tip of the week.
Yeah, so I did a little digging into this and a little research, and I went on Airbnb's website and just typed in Ukraine, and there was some places like you could literally rent for like $13 a night.
Really?
Yeah, so I mean it's one of those, if you want to help people, it's not going to cost you a ton of money. So literally all you need to do is go on the Airbnb website, look up a place, and book a stay, but then message the owner or the host and say, hey, we're not coming, just want to help you out any way we can, just something simple like that. So, and what's nice is it's fast, it's easy, the money goes straight to the host, and there's no fees. So according to the Airbnb website, there are more than 300 host properties across Ukraine, most in Kyiv and some in Lviv and Odessa.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
When someone does that trying to help out, though, does that then prevent that Airbnb owner from renting to a real person?
I don't know that anybody's going to go
double-
rent in Kyiv.
Yeah.
Could they double book?
I think it would prevent them from somebody actually staying there, but I think right now I don't think that's a big issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, the Russians
Still
are
people
knocking
that
on
have to
Kyiv's
live
door.
there and be there. I don't know.
I'm
Somebody's
pretty
looking
sure
for-
everybody in Kyiv's trying to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone can. Maybe they need a place to stay for one night because they're like trying to.
Well,
get out, but-
Airbnb's actually stepping up as well, and Airbnb, through their website airbnb.org, they're actually offering a way for people to stay in other Airbnbs for free.
Now,
So that as a way to help get them out.
now here's one perspective.
Okay.
If they own an Airbnb, do they already have enough money that you don't really need to help them, and maybe you need to help like refugees or someone that doesn't have?
Well, not necessarily,
No.
because that's the thing. Airbnb, you can literally just rent a bedroom out of your house.
Okay.
So you don't. It's not a whole house, big mansion kind of deal. You can literally rent just a room out of your house. So that may be their only source of income or whatever. So it's not a. But there are people like it. So that's a little further down in my tip of the week.
Right. So maybe like looking at one of these, and like I'm looking here, $20 a night might be a better way to spend your money than like the $105 a night
Right.
place.
Right. So almost all are renting for less than $50 a night. Over 61,000 people have booked virtual stays on March 2nd and 3rd, according to an Airbnb representative, generating more than $2 million in donations. Though Airbnb is not overseeing the campaign, it's waiving all guest fees and host fees in the Ukraine. So, great. That's like we said. That's something that's amazing that never even given any thought of. So here's the bad side of it. Like we was talking about the scammers, the bad guys, stuff like that. How bad people are taking advantage of a good situation or a good idea. So if you're wanting to pursue this, here's how to make sure that you're helping how do I want to say this? Helping a person and not a corporation or a potential scammer.
Right.
So do some homework. So when you go to the Airbnb website, you can look at all the listings, but check and see the host profile. The host profile holds a lot of information. When you go on there, see how long they've been an Airbnb user. See how long those properties have been listed. That right there will tell you if it's a possible scam or not. Because if it's a brand new listing, there's a pretty good chance it's a scam.
So how do you do that? I'm on Airbnb, but I'm not a member, so
Well,
okay. Because it says like this person's a super host.
Well, okay.
Okay, hold on. Click on their thing. I
Yeah.
got you. All right, yeah, they got a little icon picture thing.
Right, but they don't even have to be a super host, but look at their
Well,
listings.
no, I was just saying this one says superhost, but yeah, joined in August 2012.
Okay, so Airbnb hands out those super hosts. That's not a badge you can buy or anything.
Right.
But you can check under their user profile and see how long those properties have been listed, and read the reviews. If there's reviews for those properties, 6-8 months ago, then yeah, that's legitimate.
Yeah, this one has like reviews from 2018.
Okay, so that's a legitimate one. So there's a good chance that that's a legitimate person. The next thing to look in is see how many properties or spots that person has listed as available. And here's how you
If
can tell.
it's like 100, probably pretty sketchy.
Well, no, if it's 100, it's a company.
Ah.
Yeah. This is how to weed out between a corporation and an individual.
Now, where would it say that?
Under their profile.
Okay, because he doesn't have any of that.
Okay.
So he must just only have that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just looking, because it's hosted by and then joined in August 2012. 41 reviews. Identity's been verified. He's a super host. Experience. So okay. So this is a legitimate one then. That's what you're saying, based
Right.
off of what you're telling me. Okay.
Right. So that's the thing. If they look legitimate, check and see how long they are, how long they've been a host, and how many properties they list, because that's the key. If they have 100 hosts, or if they have 100 listings or 10 listings or whatever, that's a pretty good chance that it's a corporation that you're going to be attempting to send money to.
Right.
So look for an individual that has 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 listings, and there's a pretty good. If it's a 1 listing, it's definitely an individual. If it has 2 listings, pretty good chance. The more things they have available, the less likely they're a person, the more of a company. But if they have 1 listing, that's definitely an individual to look for if you want to send money to them. So that's how to check for companies, and again, check the reviews and make sure there aren't any scammers, because there's nothing really can stop somebody saying, "Hey, check out my house in the middle of Ukraine here in downtown one of these cities, and help support me," and then you look and somehow this place just came up on Airbnb within the last week with no reviews on it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this one, and they got all the way up until March 2020, which I'm sure at that point they're like timeout.
Right.
But
Gotta do a little bit of a devil's advocate. I mean, maybe someone who was never on Airbnb but is still like a real person that just is looking for a little bit of financial help, not someone who their whole mission is to try to scam and get as much money as possible. You know, someone that just has never done Airbnb and then they heard about this and they're in financial straits. I don't know, a family or something that needs some money and they're like,
yeah,
okay.
they're like, hey, this is a way we can get donations directly to us.
Yeah.
Right. But you stand the risk of the bad guys doing that, so that's why you need to check the reviews on the actual listings itself.
Yeah.
It's one of those, unfortunately, and unfortunately in that case where it's a legitimate person, needing some financial assistance, it's hurting them because some knothead thought it was a good idea to, hey, let's take advantage of a good situation here.
Yeah,
They have to ruin it for everybody.
be pretty hard to differentiate there.
Yeah.
Man, there's 10 Airbnbs in Spencer, or
Oh, yeah.
in Roane County.
Oh yeah.
Actually, more than that in Roane
Yeah,
County.
Cena and I helped take care of 2 of them.
Huh. That's kind of crazy. I didn't know about all these.
Yeah, the 2 we take care of, they are booked solid.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What are people coming to Spencer for?
Well, that's what we try to figure out. Some of it's for work,
Yeah.
and some of them they just want to travel.
Awesome. Which ones are you in charge of?
There's 2 listings. One that says beautiful 2-bedroom home in the
Yep.
heart of Spencer, and then the quaint cottage in the heart of Spencer.
Gotcha. Okay. Those 2 are right on the top. 5-star ratings, and one of them's a super host. Good job, Joe and Cena. Bringing people into Roane County. I like it.
We actually had a gentleman from the United Kingdom here, but for the quaint cottage, we actually had a gentleman from the United Kingdom stay a while back,
That
which
is
was
awesome.
yeah. And it's like, okay, time out. Why in the world was? And he was here for business. He had some business dealings, but I'm thinking, why would a person from the United Kingdom come to Spencer, West Virginia?
Yeah.
But he came and loved it and said, and apparently he comes fairly often, like a few times
So
a
it's
year.
kind of crazy. Missouri, Illinois, United Kingdom, Nigel.
Yes, Mr. Nigel. He was.
Yep. Texas. Huh. South Carolina. Arizona. Man, you had a lot of people come.
Oh yeah.
I'm amazed. Tourism in Spencer, West Virginia. Good job, local folks. Heck yeah. We always have those conversations around our patch offs about, what does Roane County need? And it's always like, we, got to get in these big stores or big factories. You know what? Why not just do it at the ground level?
Yeah.
Airbnb sounds so smart. And I know Greg and Delia have done their bed and breakfast, for a long time now, and they've done a fantastic job.
They sold it a while.
They sold one of
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they sold the Arnott House, which I spoke with the new owner last week, and she's saying that she's just as busy as they ever was. So that's
Yeah.
great.
Well, I just mean, that kind of started that deal, I think.
Yeah.
And I know Miss Truman had her bed and breakfast up on
Up on Schoolhouse Hill.
Schoolhouse Hill, which, fantastic.
Yeah.
Bringing people in from out of town. We don't have a hotel, and I know that was always a talk, hey, Spencer needs a micro hotel or something. Well, people take the power into your hands. Let's go Airbnb it up, and let's get some people in Roane counties.
Exactly.
Come in from somewhere else and spend their money and enjoy the tourism we have here. I mean, it's kind of crazy. We have Charles Fork Lake for fishing and kayaking, mountain biking, hiking. We have the trails out back at COA here,
Right.
Ben's Run trails. We have our walking trails all over the place. We've done Camp Shepherd at the Methodist property out on 119, and then out at the Amma Senior Center. So there's a lot of stuff to bring people to Spencer, just a vacation.
Right.
But, without a place to stay, it's hard.
Exactly.
Awesome job for Airbnb. So people in Roane County, if you're local here, let your family from out of town know they don't have to stay in Ripley and give money to Ripley. They can stay in an Airbnb in Spencer and keep their money here local.
And if you want to help support the cause overseas, Airbnb isn't policing it, but they are doing their part to help out.
Yeah. Good job, Justin. Way to drag us back into where we're supposed to be. Joe's got to do his own work. Now here's one. Entire rental unit in Kaviv, and it says Kaviv needs your love. That's the title. $20 a night, and it doesn't even have a house.
Oh, see, now that's where I would.
Now she joined in. This is a host by Natalia, and she joined in 2019. Her identities, blah blah. Team help you. Any questions? Well, hold on. Maybe she helps you find a place to stay, but it says 10 days was hard and not safe, but I was able to go west of Ukraine with your help. Interesting take on it.
Definitely applaud the people that came up with this idea, but also it seems like kind of a workaround that I don't know. It's not a foolproof, or
Yeah.
it's got
Right.
some issues with it for
You
sure.
got to be smart about it, and that's a tricky one.
Well,
Could be some better ways, maybe.
and I would just chalk it up to it's about the same risk you take as if you donate money to some of these organizations.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've always had that. Even here in America, some of the bigger organizations are like, well, for every dollar, 80 cents goes to administration or whatever, and only 20 cents actually goes to those in need.
Right.
So I mean, you run that risk of no matter what you do. So interesting stuff. Okay, well, Joe, what else you got on your tip of the week here?
That's it. If you want, I just wanted to shine some light on a news story that's been going around that that the mainstream media and the social media is giving all green lights on, and I'm saying that's great, but hold on, let's dig a little deeper here and let's pump the brakes a little bit and do a little homework.
And I gotta say, Joe, you kind of circled this back to how in Spencer we have Airbnb here, and so you did two things there, two great tips of the week, Joe.
Well, that because I
I'm
know
proud of you.
Cena and I, like I said, we manage the two Airbnbs we
yeah.
mentioned, so I know how Airbnb works as far as the payout. The payout comes straight to you. So when
Yeah.
I seen how Airbnb is playing, it's like that's awesome because it is fast. Because literally, when the person comes to stay, within 2 days of their initial check-in, Airbnb sending us the money.
Yeah.
So when I seen that, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And now you can do your homework and make sure that it is going to help a person in need and not a corporation or a bad guy or bad girl or bad person trying to take advantage of a situation that, if you're wanting to help out, that's awesome. And if you do, let's make sure you as the person helping out that you're helping the right person, the right cause.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's a sad reality, is that anytime there's some sort of disaster, the bad guys come just attracted to it. Like, let's try to make some money off of the goodwill of other people. It's pretty sad.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Katrina or just anything, anytime something bad happens, there's going to be people mixing up with the people that genuinely need help, and they're trying to make a buck off it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, how these things pop up, and people have to adapt and learn to deal with it. But yeah, it's part of it. If you want to help, figure out a way.
Yep.
And
Be smart
Joe,
about
as you
it.
said, the tip of the week: be smart about it. Do some homework. It's worth. I mean, even if you put a half hour into making sure your money's going to where you want it to in a safe manner,
Right.
Take the half hour.
Right. And the thing of it is, okay, it's like I said, there's some places here that's okay. So here's one literally $11 a night. So I'm on here. I click that person's picture. It takes me to the bottom of the page. I click their profile. Okay, they have one. Oh. Okay. See, now here's one I would be questionable on, and I'm not going to give this person's name. I'm not going to. But they're asking for $11 a night for this place. It's a new listing with 0 reviews. And this person joined this year. So now that's a huge red flag, because okay, is this a legitimate person needing assistance, or is this a bad guy trying to pose, hey, send me some money, I need help?
Isn't there some degree of authentication that Airbnb does, that you can't just not actually have a property and pretend?
They do, but they don't do justice on it. They don't do enough of it. It's not good enough, because Europe actually raked them over the coals for just that kind of stuff a couple of years ago. Was going, hey, how do we make sure that you're a little more stringent on this stuff? And Airbnb going, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Good stuff. Something I'd never thought of.
Well,
Brought it to light.
yeah, and I still, people are amazing. They figure out how to do things. But the main thing, Ukraine's important, don't get me wrong, but I like the fact that Spencer came up in this.
Yeah.
Airbnb's in Spencer. Airbnb's in Roane County. I mean, there's a lot in Roane County. I'm really impressed. Not that I didn't think there would be, but I never thought about it. So people, get in the know. Airbnb here in Roane County. Get your family and friends to steer clear of the hotels and motels over in Ripley and stay here in Roane County. Keep your money local. Help out the local business people. And then if you want to help out in Ukraine, follow Joe's advice. Be smart about it.
Yeah, and honestly, when we travel, if we can stay at an Airbnb, we do that way better than a hotel.
Sounds like a pretty easy thing for anybody to get up and running. I mean, all you gotta do really is clean the place after people move out, do the laundry, and I mean, if you can do that, you can have an Airbnb basically.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the thing of it is, you don't have to have a whole house. You can, if you have just an extra bedroom in your house, you can rent it out and post it as a shared space with you or whatever. And
you know what's neat? There's 5 over on Liverpool Road in Leroy.
Yeah. Well, I think over in like Clinton, and somebody had a barn that you could stay in. Like you could stay up in the loft of it
with the horses. Yeah.
As
bed of hay for you.
Yeah. Yeah. When we travel, we try to stay in Airbnbs because it's usually a lot cheaper and a lot more room, and a lot nicer than a hotel because you have. Because we always try to go for a whole house.
It gets old after a while. The hotel is just so square and everything is just packed in there. It's
it's very sterile.
Yeah.
But interesting. Okay, lots of good stuff here. Again, be careful. How you throw your money out there. Don't get scammed.
Yep. Right.
But Joe, I think great tip of the week, man. Really, and that's what I like about your tips of the week. You really got a lot of things in there, and I don't know if you intended to have Roane County be brought up, but I like it. Good sidebar.
Yeah, that wasn't my intention, but that's
great sidebar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if anybody out there has any questions, if they're more interested in anything you talked about with Apple and Android or Disney Plus, or they just need general help in the overall world of technology, how they get a hold of you or Cena?
You can give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com. Or follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at AM Digital Tech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
He's got that down.
He does, yeah. Heck yeah. Well, I mean, we're 94 shows in, so
that was
better have it down.
Perfect delivery there.
Yeah, all right. Well, once again, A&M Digital Technologies powers everything here at Patch. And Joe, you were just helping us this morning with our green room computer, and then of course we had laptop issues at some of our after-school sites. So you're always busy when you come in. I see you a couple times a week, and it's never one of those things like, "Great, Joe's here." Well, it is because it's like, "Great, Joe's here, you can fix it." But then I'm like, "Great, Joe's here because we have computer problems." But anyway, computers rule how everything works. So,
I have some offices that, well, literally when they see me, the first words out of their mouth is, "How much is this going to cost me today?"
Oh, well, I mean, you got to have your stuff working. That's what we were talking, and that's what spurred it. We were like, if the internet went down for us at Patch, we lose contact with all our sites, all our daycares.
Yeah.
You know, and we can't do any business with anybody because we do everything via the internet.
Right.
You know, email and so forth.
And that's one thing. And that's one of the things that I love doing with companies, but I don't get to do it very often because it freaks them out.
Yeah.
I always like to do disaster scenarios.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My gosh.
And when people hear disaster, they're thinking fire, flood, whatever. And I'm going, no. Let's say the internet goes out for whatever reason.
Somebody wrecks into your internet pole outside.
Yeah. Or yeah. Just like we had a couple years ago, a truck took out basically Roane County's phone lines going right by the Handy Mart. I mean, you can. Let's plan for fire and flood and whatever, but let's plan for the stuff that you're not even thinking of.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of companies don't like to do that because they realize just how
vulnerable they are.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Stop talking, Joe. You're going to jinx us.
Exactly.
If I lose internet later today because of the rain and all that jazz, I'm going to be like, Joe brought it up, that scoundrel. Look what happened. It's all Joe's fault. Anyway. So A&M Digital Technologies, make sure you support your local businesses, and we appreciate everything you and Cena do for us here at Patch, keeping all the wheels turning behind the scenes. But we'll be back next week. We're closing in on that magical number of show 100.
We're going to do something big.
Justin said he's going to do something special for it.
Come as Tiger King.
Tiger King again. There you go.
Right, there you go.
At least wear the stash, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, what does this have to do with technology? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Go back to
cool.
episode 94. It'll explain everything.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, for everyone here in the Patch Turned Up Studios, myself, Joe, and Justin, this is another week of Help Desk with Joe. Tune in for all our other shows and episodes, and we'll be back with more.